Pranay Upadhyay from India Today Global also joining us on the phone line as we stay with these pictures. Pranay, this is particularly significant because this comes amid the turmoil that India sees with the US as the tariff conflict continues to stay. And India talking about the interdependence the two nations have when it comes to India and Japan.
Indeed, Sresha, if you see this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's in Japan and then he will be heading towards China. This is being seen as a big Asian outreach. Having said that, we are not making any relationship replace another partnership. Every relationship, every partnership has its own significance. Japan remains historically, traditionally, a long-standing partner with India. Our strategic partnership goes back to year 2000 when we partnered with, turned our partnership into a strategic partnership. Thereafter, how it has become in 2025, the global strategic special partnership between India and Japan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's, the visuals which we are playing out on screen, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Ishiba taking guard of honor in full military honor, and that, the guard of salute is being given to Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Ishiba. This also signifies how India and Japan are now trying to expand their relationship from outer space, as Akshita was mentioning, to high seas. Japan is an important partner of India on Quad. Also, India and Japan are now taking forward their relationship, their partnership in the defense domain. Recently, Japan has amended its constitution and is now investing a lot in defense sector. And India is trying to partner with Japan. And as Prime Minister Ishiba indicated, in the economic forum, that Japan's technology and India's talent can actually bring a lot of opportunities for the world. And that's why both India and Japan, during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, will be taking forward the partnership into different domains. On one side, India is looking at a better market access, right, more economic opportunities. On the other side, in the defense, space, science, technology, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, these are the new frontiers, new areas where India and Japan want to take forward their relationship.
Pranay, also important to reflect on the peace message that Prime Minister Narendra Modi sends as part of this visit, where he reiterates that both India and Japan will be a force for peace.
Absolutely. If you see the partnership of India, it is all about, India and Japan. It's all about global good. And that's why we are calling it a special strategic global partnership. Why it is global? Because India and Japan are taking forward the partnership initiatives in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in various other countries, where India and Japan are jointly pursuing the developmental, initiatives. There is a concept, there is a proposal of Asian growth corridor, where Japan would be funding and India would be, making the infrastructure projects. And both India and Japan will be taking these initiatives, Asian growth corridor projects, to African shores, to the Central Asian countries, and into the Asian countries. So India and Japan are both power engines of Asian economy, of Asia, and important partners in freedom, democracy. We share similar values, and historically, religiously also, you see that the kind of relationship we share. We share the Zen Buddhism, roots of Zen Buddhism remains in India. Also, so the Druma doll, you must have seen how Prime Minister Narendra Modi received the Druma doll, which has its roots in the Zen Buddhism. And even in the Sanskrit scriptures, you see how Japanese have preserved the Hindu gods, and how they got transformed, and they have their presence in Japanese culture. So definitely we have this historic civilizational ties with Japan, but on the other side, we are also partnering with economic growth. About more than 1,000 Japanese companies are there in India. Japan has already pledged over 10 trillion yen investment in India over the course of 10 years. And Prime Minister Ishiba has already indicated that he wants Japanese companies to invest more in India and take forward this relationship. So definitely, with the partnership of Japan and India, it is going to be a very transformative partnership, which is going to change the course of Asian, economies. And both the countries, if they partner and if they can take forward their initiatives of be it Asian Growth Corridor or be it the other projects in Asia, in Africa, in Europe. It is going to be have a transformational change.
Oh yes, absolutely, Pranay. And talking about laying the roadmap when it comes to economic ties between the two nations, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that shared interests equals shared prosperity. In fact, even his Japanese counterpart Ishiba, who said that both the economies, India and Japan, are building a strong and stable supply chain.
Absolutely. The robustness of the supply chain remains a very important aspect of India-Japan partnership, and especially post-COVID, there is a global realization, Suesha, that every country has to diversify their logistic supply chains, because it's a time we are living in a very turbulent geopolitics and very disruptive, political phenomena around us. So that's why countries are now relying on the diversity and the robustness of the global supply chain. So as Prime Minister Ishiba also said, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi also reiterated and echoed the same idea, that India-Japan partnership can actually bring good and can make the logistic supply chains. Take it for example that what India is looking at in Japanese market. We are facing a turbulent time as far as our apparel exports or the garment export is concerned, because of the 50% tariff imposed by the United States. But Japan, a big consumer, a big market for the apparel, and if we can find a better market in Japan, we are going to absorb the shock by this 50% tariff, and for that, Japan is a country which has its own standards. Japan is a slightly difficult market to penetrate, but once you're aligned with Japan, then it is going to be a resilient and a very robust partnership. We have realized that how Japan withstood India by its JICA support, by its JETRO support, or by the other means through which they have supported the Indian economy over the course of years. In last 25 years, we have seen, the Prime Minister also mentioned during his speech, that from metro to space and various other avenues, Japan has partners withstood, and the metro train, which we all have traveled and we still travel, was actually a shining example of India-Japan partnership. And also, Japan is the country which has supported with its Shinkansen technology to have first bullet train in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be visiting a Shinkansen facility tomorrow. And also, India is looking at a joint partnership venture of having some of the Shinkansen products and their equipment and its production in India. So India and Japan are looking at a joint partnership as well. It's not a buyer-seller relationship, Suesha. We are also looking at a joint venture, joint partnership, joint research. So that kind of thing. Also, one important aspect, India is looking at opportunities and avenues to diversify, the jobs for our human resource.
Right.
India is the most populous country on the planet, and we are looking at opportunities where we can find jobs and avenues for our youth and our people. Japan could be an important avenue, which is aging population, and Japanese industry is looking for human resource. So if we can attune our job market as per the Japanese requirement, this is going to be yet another strong and a robust partnership avenue for India and Japan.
Right. Pranay, I want to thank you for bringing us up to speed with the latest that is happening.